What's up, everybody? Welcome to my channel, Collecting is Fun, where I'll show you that collecting is fun. And in this video here, I finally have them. I finally have the Henry Cavill red and blue suit Superman. This finally came in. Entertainment Earth came through for me. I honestly pre-ordered this in 3 different spots just to make sure. I did it in Entertainment Earth, Big Bad Toy Store, and Amazon, to see who was going to fulfill it the fastest. And Entertainment Earth came in nice and fast. Matter of fact, the one who came in the fastest was Target, because I saw it in the store while I was waiting for my order. Imagine that, right? Typical pre-order issue drama scenario, however you want to word it. So I was waiting for this and saw it, but hey, when Entertainment Earth said they were fulfilling the order, I had to wait for the other two. I had to wait for the fulfill before I canceled the other two. Because if they say, hey, it's a delay, but then Amazon say, hey, we got you, then I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to go with whoever's going to get it for me, get it to me the fastest, and then send it back if I need to. Excuse me. But this one, even though I'm happy to get Henry, this video deserves a rant. I don't usually rant, but I am going to rant on this one. Mainly because of the dirt and the desperation that we got from McFarlane because of him trying to sell this piece of garbage. This piece of garbage has been garbage since the first sight and iteration of him in the Zack Snyder movie, Dawn of Justice, aka Batman vs. Superman. This here is not Doomsday. It's Snyder's version of Doomsday, but it's whack. This right here, when I first saw him, I saw the parallels or the relations, how he was mixed up with different characters. I saw, okay, this is Doomsday, but he also represents a character from the New 52 storyline called Wraith. If you never read that, there's a character called Wraith. He came from Krypton, I believe, and he's been held underground in a bunker, whatever, helping a certain organization with their technology and so forth and so on. And he had been there for so long, so that means he was like way more powerful than Kal-El and so forth and so on. He just had a whole lot going on, a lot of intelligence, and if Superman were to try to fight him, it would be just ridiculously frivolous for him to even try to fight that guy. So when I saw this guy, saw this Doomsday, Doomsday in the movie, I said, that's Wraith, man. Who is this? Why? Because there's another thing too, because you have the armor for him, and that's sort of like what the New 52 was. The New 52 was the armor look that Superman had, and I thought that was cool. It just, he didn't have the collar. So it's like Zack Snyder took that with the classic look, made it, with no trousers, just a full body suit, but made it armored like the New 52 and still kept some of the other classic stuff. Okay, fine. But he adapted some more, because obviously I like that's Wraith, man. That's absolutely Wraith. Why? But anyway, I'm going to rant about this because this guy, let me get him out the packaging first. Hold on. All right, so homeboy is out the packaging. Now, of course, it comes with the regular stuff. You got the card and the stand, which I don't need to do anything else with that. You know about that. Throw that to the side. Card for garbage. Stand, throw that to the side. Got the hands for Superman, which we'll get a closer look because he is the highlight. The main reason why I got this is because I got him, and I'll tell you about why in a minute. This guy right here is such a piece of trash. Look at this big old diaper. You look at him and say, oh man, I bet he looks kind of cool. I will give you that he does look kind of cool as far as a monstrous character. I don't know. You can throw him in the Lord of the Rings, throw him in some other kind of scenario, some other kind of world or whatever. But would I say that's Doomsday? Heck freaking no, I would not say that's Doomsday. I will grab my Kryptonite Doomsday in a minute with my other Henry Cavill Superman, and we can have a comparison of what Doomsday looks the best. Oh, man. McFarlane knew that we wanted this guy. Now, this guy right here, I've seen him before this because he has the new cloth cape and everything. Nice looking design. McFarlane came out with this guy a long time ago, and I saw him in Target. Now, I passed up on him because I figured I didn't need him. I said I have the black Superman or the Superman in the black suit from the Snyder Cut. I think that's it. That's all I need. I don't really need this one. And I was using that logic, thinking that it was sound, because at the time I felt it was, because I have the Mattel version. I have the Mattel version of Man of Steel. I have the Mattel version of Dawn of Justice. So I figured I have him in the red and blue already. Let me just go ahead and get the McFarlane black one. I wasn't trying to spend that much money on him. I wasn't trying to get two of the same. You know, it just... that's my logic. That was my logic at that time. But then I was like, you know what? I would like a red and blue Superman from Henry Cavill, especially since the whole issue with Henry Cavill not even being Superman anymore. So this is absolutely a must grab right now. Absolutely. You got to have a Henry Cavill Superman in McFarlane form, unless you're going to get yourself a Mafex and spend extra amounts of money on one of those. But in the 7-inch scale to match the Batman and the Gal Gadot Wonder Woman and so forth, yes, absolutely, this is what you want to do when you want to grab him. So I'm just going to all right, fine. I'll move him. No, you can't move him. Look at that. You can't do anything with his arm. You see that? That's as far as it goes. Goes back that far, straight, bent. That's it. Rotates, bent, head moves like that. Can't go up, can't go down. Ab crunch. What for? Okay. Diaper, ugly. Bent, ugly. Knees. Look at that. Ugly. Can't go any further when you bend his knees. Look at that. Ugly. Okay, that's it. That's pretty impressive, I guess. That's impressive. That's the most impressive part of him right now, is that you can do that. Toe crunch. Boom. The foot. The foot is the best part. The ankle and the foot is the best part of this figure and how it can articulate. Everything else is trash and ugly. The hands, look, I guess, like what? He comes with a fist and one open hand, and that's it. He didn't put much effort into this other than some of the paint apps. That's it. And then the sculpting is, I mean, I got to give it to him. The sculpting is pretty detailed. You got to give it to him on that. The sculpting is pretty detailed. I'm not even going to, as they say, I'm not going to hold you. The sculpting is pretty detailed on that. It is. But he's not a Doomsday. That's the problem. He is not a Doomsday. He's an imitation, like, I'm about to be Doomsday. I want to be Doomsday, but I'm not all the way Doomsday. And maybe he was going to bring him back and have him actually be the Doomsday. But you know what? Zack Snyder was taking way too much time to tell the story of Superman. And that is the main part of my rant here. I am going to get the other Superman, and we're going to talk more about what the issue that I have is and why Henry Cavill got himself not the rawest deal for being Superman, being with WB, but he got a raw deal, and we know that. So we're going to sit monstrosity over here, just have him sit right here. Let me see, what kind of pose can I get him in to just kind of make him look kind of stupid. He already looked kind of stupid a little bit. I mean, kind of looks kind of cool, like I said, but he's not a Doomsday. The way the light hits him, doesn't look that bad, but it's not Doomsday. It ain't. Hold on. All right, so let's get this out the way. There's the spear he came with to hit Doomsday with his kryptonite spear, right? Flimsy as all get out. This, like, it's about as sturdy as the hammer that came with John Henry Iron Steel. I have the regular and the platinum version. I haven't opened up the platinum version. He's just displayed on my wall as a nice display piece. But look at this thing. It is what it is. You know, it's not sturdy at all. So you definitely, he's not going to hold it for too long. He's just going to hold it in this item holding hand right here to stab him. So let's put this over here by Jerkface. And then we have the relaxed hand for flying, just like this one here. We also have the, I guess, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right, hand. We have this one, pointer. Like Yu Yu Hakusho pointer finger. Okay? And that's what he has. That's what he comes with, along with that card and the stand. Here's my gripe with McFarlane. Whoa, my bad. So here we are with Henry Cavill, someone who is a fan of the product. He is the fan that the actors, I mean not the actors, he is an actor that the fans like because he actually cares about the product. He cares about the characters. He is somebody that you would want to have embody or be in charge of certain products or projects. So here we are with a great looking Superman. He had the best look for Superman of our time. Sure, you're looking at Matt Bomer and some of these other folks. Yes, but Henry Cavill had the zeal, the physique, the whole overall look to fill the suit and do this job justly. Man of Steel was not that guy. The reason why is because Zack Snyder was trying to create a build-up. He was trying to have, which was symbolic. If you look at Man of Steel and break it down, symbolically it is beautiful. It's genius how it is symbolically. However, it takes a long time for him to be who he needs to be. The whole movie is about him becoming Superman. The whole movie. The symbolisms, the imagery is all about a baby being birthed. That's really what it is. It goes from the egg, it goes from the contractions of a woman to the actual birth of a, I think people talked about sperm also being shown, like the ship looked like a piece of sperm or something going to Krypton. All of that stuff is actually in there for a reason. It's symbolic, seriously, whether it was on the nose or not. It was about him becoming Superman, especially when the machine was terraforming the earth and he was like fighting against that machine and it was just hitting the earth and pounding him. Those were representing contractions from a woman. And Superman was springing up and hitting the machine like he was becoming that man, like he was coming out of the womb like a baby or what have you. And that's what it was supposed to be about. However, we never really got that Superman that we were expecting to see because he wasn't that symbol of hope. That's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for this guy to smile. That's not the biggest thing. It's a thing. It is a big thing, but it's not the biggest thing. We don't need him to be like, oh, he's smiling all the time. Yeah, that is a part of Superman, but we want him to be the hope. He wasn't the hope because in this movie, he was conflicted. He had conflicting information from his adoptive parents. You have who were great characters. I mean, I like Kevin Costner and I like Diane Lane as those characters. By the way, they have another movie called Let Him Go, where they teamed up again as husband and wife living on like a farm type situation. It's almost like an alternate universe version of Martha and John Kent before Clark got there. Something of that nature. It's crazy, but it's an okay movie. But just watch it and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's called Let Him Go. And it has those two in there as husband and wife. And they're trying to get back their grandson. But anyway. So miscommunication or misinformation here. The conflicting info that is being disseminated onto their adoptive son, Kal-El, Clark Kent. And you have Jonathan Kent telling him, the world's not ready for you, son. The world's not ready for you, son. And they're having an argument in that truck. Remember that scene when the cyclone hits? or the tornado hits, and this is the time where Jonathan Kent is about to die in this particular story, because we know we have other stories where Jonathan Kent stays alive, like with the Dean Cain story and the with the Lois and Clark story with Dean Cain playing Superman on TV, and then you also have the animated series version where Pa Kent is also alive. Well, this one is the most canon, as we know, right? Pa Kent dies. Here he is having an argument. He's like, "You're not my father." And he's okay. I know I'm not. And it's almost like you say, you know what, I'm tired of being with you anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get out here in this cyclone, knowing full well I can't really help these people like you can. But I'm going to continue to tell you that you are not ready, or they are not ready to help or to see you in action. And I'm like, they don't have to see him. He can move fast. He can get in there, get out, save whoever needs to save, and get out of there. He can be the Blur like he is on Smallville. They don't have to know it's him. They don't have to know. They're not too busy focusing on who is coming from where. They're trying to keep their head down, and they're happy to be saved. Anyway, dude gets out there, and we know the story. Clark is about to go try to save him. What does he do? He puts his hand out there to let the tornado take him, because he's like, I'm doing this to save you or protect you because the world is not ready for you yet. What kind of traumatizing mess is that? Why would you do that to a superpower being like that? This dude needs all the affirmation, all the correct imagery and mindset, so that he doesn't come out like that. What's that? Whoever made that movie, thinking about Bad Robot, Brightburn, the unofficial Ultraman story. Oh my gosh, dude. Why would you do that to him? So that's one of the first things, right? He's already adopted. He doesn't know who his real father is just yet. And here you are telling him he's not ready, and I need you to watch me die right in front of you. Horrible. Then his mom, not making it any better. His mom goes, oh, well, you know what? You can be a hero or don't. Whatever. It's your world. We're just living in it. Dude, ma'am, I need you to give him clear instruction, clear direction. He needs guidance. You just can't tell him just do whatever you want to do. No, help this man. So what does he do? He goes to his ship, finds his father. His father's telling him, this is the Jor-El, played by Russell Crowe, Jor-El with hands, because we never seen a Jor-El fight before, and he has some hands. I was happy about that. But now he's finding information about himself, finally becoming Superman, gets his suit, which is a dull suit, not this one. It's the other suit. And I guess that was also symbolic too, because it was dull, because he wasn't absolutely that Man of Steel that we wanted just yet. So there he is. He finally comes out, and I don't like the flight scenes because the scenes are so blurry and CGI'd, and I can't really enjoy him. I can't enjoy flying with him, but that's just me. Regardless, as far as the story is concerned, he is not Superman yet. All the imagery is playing out, contraction, blah, 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 blah. And what does he have to do? This man has to kill. He is met with a decision to where, yeah, it's something like this. Something like this may happen in Superman's story, but now he has to kill in front of some kids. Doing what he has to do, because if he didn't, the kids would die. So now he's faced with this. It's written this way. We didn't have to have this writing, but there it is. It's written for him to have to kill now. And the world is like, yeah, you saved us, but look what you did to the city. The city is destroyed. It's a full Dragon Ball Z situation. We are messed up. Folks died in that building, which brings us to Batman versus Superman. Now he is treated like a villain by Batman. Batman is like, dude, you are a loose cannon. We don't need you here. You will bleed, so forth and so on. I don't like you. You messed up my building. You killed somebody I liked. All this other stuff. You are a villain. So he is the villain of the movie. It's pretty much a Batman movie because it starts off with him in his crime alley story, and he is the villain. So instead of him being the Hope, he is like the sub-villain of the movie until we get Garbage back there, right? So here he is. He's still not the Hope. It doesn't matter if you watch the extended Snyder Cut version or not. And of course, that's good because you give Clark more time to actually be a reporter, which is great. So we had time for him to really get into character for Clark, and also hopefully become Superman. But it was good to see him in both roles and have a chance in the movie to play both roles. Of course, we didn't get that in the theaters because the whole Snyder Cut thing started to really started to formulate now. Here we go with the Snyder Cut stuff. All right. Extended cut, that is. It wasn't Snyder Cut. It was just the extended cut. So here he is the villain. Finally, these two are going back and forth. Here's that stupid line of, Martha. Why'd you say Martha? What? You mean your mama's name is Martha too? Brother from another mother. What you talking about? Why didn't you say something sooner? Look, man, you go do this and I'll go over here and get them. All right, man, we're going to come back and we're going to play video games later. That was ridiculous, right? So here we are. We're still looking at this man to become the Hope. Batman's like, okay, yeah, I kind of like you now because your mom's name is Martha. Weird, psychologically damaging this guy is. Okay. He finally shows up and defeats Garbage. Now, all of a sudden, the world is like, oh, man, we're really mourning his death. He really was a hero. Oh, my gosh. No, you didn't believe in this man. For real, yeah, he died. I mean, he saved you the first time, killed a lot of folks inadvertently. And he killed in front of the kids, so the kids are scarred. I like to know some of the kids' story now. Let them show up. But, of course, that story's over because the Snyderverse is done. And then he dies, and everybody's like, oh, my gosh, look at this beautiful casket. Man, that's messed up. And, of course, dude pops out, and we now have Justice League. What happens in Justice League? You got this guy over here. We need Superman. You know why? Because I'm getting too old for this. And here we are. We got this guy. But guess what? He comes back as what? A stone cold villain. Fighting against the Justice League. Henry Cavill has still yet to become Superman. We're thinking that we're going to get Man of Steel 2 after Man of Steel instead of Dawn of Justice. But it basically looked like they were just trying to get the whole Death of Superman story out the way. I didn't care for that. That was just horrible for them to do that so fast. He haven't earned the right to be the Superman just yet, and you kill him off. Then you bring him back as what? A villain. A straight up villain. He finally gets his suit. Okay, great. He's fighting Steppenwolf. Now, we all know that since Steppenwolf was the main villain in the movie, in the theatrical version, forget the Justice League, Joss Whedon taking over. Let's just stick to the story of what Justice League was about, even the Snyder Cut. We know if he had shown up, Steppenwolf never would have had a chance, and the movie would have been over just that fast. Darkseid definitely would have had to be the one to be there, to be the main villain. Like in the Snyder Cut, you see how Darkseid come out, and Superman, of course, wasn't fully powered, so he was trying his best to fight him, but he really wasn't powered enough, which also lets you know how powerful he really is, because he was taking care of Steppenwolf, even though he wasn't at his full strength, right? So he comes back as a villain, and then the final last few minutes of the movie, that's when he's a hero. That's when he becomes a hero. And then after that, he comes into the blue suit again, where he's now smiling about he raced the Flash, and we're like, oh, hope. We're finally going to get the Man of Steel that we've been waiting for since we first saw Henry Cavill and the word of Man of Steel. Oh my gosh, it's finally going to happen. What happened? Dude gets fired. He got fired. He had that cryptic message that he did on social media where he brought that Mattel figure up to his face and then he brought it back down. And I was like, that's it. That's the message saying he got fired. He's no longer Superman. Then what do we get? We got word that, oh, Superman's going to show up in Shazam. I said, yeah, right. Yeah, right. What do we get? We got some scrawny Superman show up with no face showing. I'm like, that's not, I knew that was going to happen. I knew that wasn't going to be him. Ridiculous. And then finally, folks are just talking about he's fired. Here we go with Black Adam. I have that figure. I'm not going to bring him out. Black Adam shows up. Like, Rock is like, yo, we need to get Henry Cavill in here. Black Adam, Superman need to show off, face off. We need to have this happen. Henry Cavill is that Superman. He is that dude. He needs the better deal. Regardless of what you feel about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and what he really wanted to do with DC and how he wanted to control it. Still, he understood that we had a good Superman and we need to utilize him way better than what WB had been doing. Just like Ryan Reynolds said in the Deadpool movie, we'll treat you way better over here if you come over here, Calverine, right? Finally, let's see what happened here. We get Black Adam to show Superman in the end credits. Like, hey, we need to talk. Ooh, Hope. But guess what? Hope was a pipe dream. That was a pipe dream there because the ratings didn't do right. It didn't market well. It didn't, go over well. It didn't, poll well. Whatever they wanted to say, just didn't go well. And so therefore, this version, this Snyderverse movie Snyderverse is done. That's the last movie of the Snyderverse. Well, until Blue Beetle showed up. And now that's a confusing thing. So here we are with, or the Flash was the last one. Then Blue Beetle is also one of the last ones. Like definitely the nail in the coffin. So here we are with all of this time wasted. And Henry Cavill never got a chance to be the man that we see before us right here, right now. So, of course, this was the last-ditch effort for McFarlane to put out a Superman figure with Henry Cavill, because the next one is going to be with David Cornsweet, because James Gunn said, you, Henry Cavill, you don't fit into my universe. But what I am going to do is I'm going to get somebody who looks like you. So I'm going to get somebody who looks like you and also be a mixture of Tom Welling. Tom Welling and you makes up David Cornsweet. And David Cornsweet is pretty much about your age. So now here we are with David Cornsweet and his outfit and blah. I'm not even going to get onto that. I'm just going to stick with just Henry. Henry got a raw deal. He got a chance to play Superman way longer than Brandon Routh because he got the rawest deal because that script was garbage. It was supposed to take place after Superman 2, but it looked like everybody just got there and then also made him into a deadbeat dad or a, what you want to call it, made it look like into a, hold on. Sorry about that. Yeah, it made him look like an absentee father because he left his baby mama while he was gallivanting through space, trying to look for remnants of Krypton. And he just got a messed up script. It was garbage. But I'm glad he got redeemed a good bit, or a little bit, in the CW when he played Kingdom Come Superman. I'm glad he had that. But he had the rawest deal of them all. Henry Cavill had just been played around. At least he had got to be in 3 movies. 3 movies, even though he still never got a chance to really, truly be the Superman. How frustrating is that? You're in 3 movies and you're still not the character that you're supposed to be yet? How does that make sense? Psychologically, think about that. 3 movies and you're still not that dude that is a symbol of hope yet. How? Why were you taking so long, Zack Snyder? Horrible. So here we are, last ditch effort. Give us a figure for Superman, and we finally get the red and blue. But of course, he wanted to sell something like this too, and he knew that this would not sell by itself, so he had to put this guy in there. I appreciate that, but putting it as a 2-pack for $70, was an absolute rip. So let's take a look at this. We've got this guy who came out, Snyder cut, looks good, black suit, plastic cape. All right. This guy looks really nice. Nice blue, shiny look. I mean, looks like money. Looks like money. But, let me see. Yeah, cloth cape. Just different. Cloth and wire cape. So now you can, well, hold on. That's weird. That's absolutely weird. But you understand how it goes. You got the cloth cape where it is wired in cloth, but it's not wired all the way. Like Batman, he has no wires. It's just free. But this guy has the wire cape, so you can have a little fun with that. I like the material. You know, he does that, just that regular look where he doesn't have the S on the back. Not like that Action Comic Superman that I have, which is really cool. But here we are with Henry. And the articulation is pretty much going to be the exact same. You see the torso. You see how it is. Arms go up, typical McFarlane fashion. This is kind of rough or tough. Even on, ooh, that one is tough. So we don't even go to the articulation department. We know how this goes. It's a good looking figure. He can't do anything back with his legs because the cheeks area doesn't let him do nothing else. It's all about this double jointed. He's got the swivel with the ball pegs there. And he can kick up somewhat. But he is not doing any of that. You're going to have him posed like he is flying. And it's not even going to be anything else you're really going to have him do. You're going to have him fly close to this guy and stick garbage. But that's really it. You're not going to have him do too much of anything. Getting him to stand was also annoying too. I don't know what the deal is with this. It's the leg being locked in and the feet. I don't know. Maybe it's the platform I'm on. I'm tempted to use the stand, which is going to be really embarrassing for him to have to use the stand in the video. He's supposed to be able to stand no problem because he just got through doing it. But, oh, stop. Please, stop. Gosh, dog it. Dude, come on. Yeah, you're going to have to make me get the stand out there, Soups. Come on. I'm not even going to say Henry. Come on there, McFarlane. Don't lean up. Because I'm going to show you another figure here that also made me not want to get the red and blue Superman when I had the chance in Target. Or when I saw him in Target those years ago. I have a... it's a bootleg. I'll show you. It is a straight up bootleg. But we just going to have you look like that. Ridiculous. Matter of fact, let's take a look at his face. Faces. He's got a little coloring on his lips, just like this one does. It's somewhat different. His hair is a little different. This one has more black hair. This one is not as black. No blues in this one. Just straight up black head. Chiseled face as Henry Cavill has. But this one has more red in his face. More lively versus this one is like kind of pale looking because he's just trying to get his powers back. Trying to get the life that he's supposed to have in his body. This one has all the life, even though it's Batman versus Superman. He had no reason to not have it. So, yeah, it made sense for him to have all of that life. He just wasn't that symbol of hope yet. But as far as him being fully powered, yeah, he has all of that here. So, why are you standing so good? But you are not. That is really frustrating. That's the first thing that I had issues with taking him out the box, is having him stand. I don't get why he can't stand. This is kind of mind-boggling here. I mean, I got his torso back. You see that torso crunch? Can't do too much with that. It just... Oh, wow. This is crazy. It's almost like it's a mystery why he can't stand right now. Okay, but you see both feet. That one is up and that one is up. But he's standing better with his legs closer and this one is not. Also, the knees are different colors. That's interesting. All right, I'm going to bring out the other bootleg and then we'll also wrap this thing up. 1 second. All right, so here he is. You have my permission to laugh if you want to. This is the figure I think I tried on Macari. And this is what I got. This is how it came out to be. This is the best looking face I have for him. He has 3 different faces. So I have him. And as I was looking at that particular figure, this one, or the one that was close to it in Target, I was like, you know what? I don't really think I need him because I have him too. He is that bright blue. Look at the bright legs, the bright blue paint on his boots. He's got the nice cape, is also wired, soft good cape. Nice Henry Cavill physique. Not exactly Mafex. I'm not even going to show you the packaging. It's just, I have him like, okay, cool. But he doesn't have that size. You see, he's almost the same size as the Mattel one. So I was like, I'm not going to get him. But as you can see, I figured I really need him. Because, again, Henry Cavill is done. He's out. So why not go ahead and get the best version of Henry Cavill while you can. God dog it, boy. Get out of here. Get out of here. Okay. All right. So there's that here. And you're going to make me bring out a stand. Oh, my gosh. All right. So, yeah. So here we are with this guy right here. I'm going to show you another one here. So you got Bootleg over here. I'm going to have him just stand over here with the rest of them. You kind of can't do nothing except just be wiry and wiggly. So I'm just have him stay there. Hope he doesn't slide back. Now, let's take a look at this one. Look at this Doomsday right here. Let me just adjust the camera just for the Doomsday. And the Doomsday wannabe. This is Doomsday. Look at that guy. Got the Kryptonite Doomsday, and the articulation is not that great, but I believe you would have a whole lot more appreciation for this thing. Actually, hold on. His arm does move. It's just, which one was it? Because this one was stiff. You see that? It does tilt or turn in some more. Way better than the other one does. At least it comes in close. That one doesn't do anything. Take a look at that. Which Doomsday would you rather have? Clearly, this one is budget Doomsday, baby Doomsday, Ang Lee, Hulk Doomsday, whatever. And this one is obviously the one that would just grab his head and toss him somewhere, right? It just a no-brainer. This is the Doomsday that you want to have fighting against this guy. Absolutely. 100%. I would not mind mixing comic and movie figures with this guy. It just, oh my gosh. So if we had Henry Cavill actually be that man, actually have a chance to be that Superman, I think with Snyder being in charge, he will probably bring this Superboy into the mix. That's just me. I'm thinking that that's most likely what would happen. I mean, yeah, you got the regular Superboy and there's the suit, you got the 90s look and so forth and so on. But I think this is also New 52. I think he would probably adapt this version of Superboy. Seeing that he's done this with the garbage, what you think? I think this would be a Snyder versus Superboy. Not many people like this version because he had the black and red. But, I mean, his powers were cool and he was all right, He was still the experiment, still the clone. But, dude, this right here was done by DC Direct. I was able to get him, and I was so happy to find him. I was like, oh, you don't see him too much, so I got him. But I think that's it, man. That's the end of the video. This is Henry Cavill's last hurrah. You got villain hero, or villain Henry, and, well, I mean, semi-villain Henry with full villain semi-hero Henry with possible Superboy that McFarlane might have done. That's it, man. That's the end of the video. I'm done ranting. I'm done. I'm glad I have this figure now. I'm glad that the Henry Cavill hunt for Henry Cavill red and blue Superman is over. I finally have him, even though I got this mess. I don't know what I'm going to do with him. If anybody wants to have him, I'll happily either give it to him, sell it to him, whatever. It'll be a low price. Even though he was a deluxe figure, I don't know. I might take him to my local toy store and say, here, take this junk. But then again, I might keep him just because, I don't know. I don't know. It may not leave my possession too quick. But anyway, that's the video. Have fun collecting. Excuse me. Yeah. Have fun collecting, folks, because, I mean, collecting is fun. right? I don't know why I brought him out. Just leave him over here. Collecting is fun. I'm out.